Hi, this is part 3 of my first portfolio that I'm showing of my original comic collection, art collection. This is a Jim Lee page from Suicide Squad, pencil only page. Um, it has Katana and Harcourt and Rick Flag Jr. The big guy in the middle panel is Zod. And the level of detail in his pencils is just amazing. And I love just looking at his pencils. Is just, you rarely see just a pencil only page. The reason that this wasn't inked traditionally was because he was running a little bit behind on it, and so they're sending out. Scott Williams took some, and actually Jonathan Glapion inked this page, but he did it off of a scan of the pencils. So I saw this page was available. I couldn't believe it, and I bought it. And it's just so cool. It's just an amazing example of Jim Lee's talent, and I'm so glad that I own it. This page is from, it's by Nick Darrington. It's from the 100-page giant Walmart. This is written by Brian Michael Bendis, and they're trying to find what's in this Fabergé egg. It's got something powerful in it. They just don't know what it is yet. And that's the Riddler. He was hired to try to steal it. And he ends up being in this city, and he's in like a treasure room or something. And it's just a cool page. Nick Darrington drew his butt off on this series. And Brian Michael Bendis wrote a great story. So again, owning pages from stories that I love and by artists that I really care about, it's just a great part of this hobby. This is a page from Creed, Utopiate by Trent Kuniga. I loved this series when it was first coming out. I mean, I was in high school at the time, and the kid that with Trent was drawing it, he was in high school, and he had published comic art. It was just such a cool thing. And this is colored and painted, and just a fantastic example of his artwork. I was so pleased to get it. I bought it off of eBay from him, actually. So yeah, it was a really cool page, and I was glad to get it. This is Mike Allred, and Jay Bone did the inking on it from Ecstatics. This was such a quirky series. I started out as X-Force and then transitioned over to Ecstatics. There's just such a quirky team, and Mike Allred is such a talent, and to have him doing a Marvel book was just amazing. And he later did an amazing run on Silver Surfer with Dan Slott. But Peter Milligan and him and Mike did some really fun stories and cool stories. And like, most of these team members didn't last very long. That was like one of the hallmarks of the series, was just, we'll introduce 3 new guys or 4 new guys, and half of them would die. And there's Dupe up in the corner. But yeah, it's just a cool page by Mike Allred, and glad to have it in my collection. Next up is a Hayden Sherman Absolute Wonder Woman page. This is the first appearance in the Absolute universe of Etta Candy and her sister Gia Candy. It's got Wonder Woman in it, and Hayden's just an amazing talent. And the cool thing about Hayden's artwork later on in the series, I think after issue 11, he started doing all the pages, regular pages, twice up. So on pretty much, 17 or 18 by 24 artboards, he taped 2 11 by 17 artboards together, Bristol boards together, and drew it on that. And they're a sight to behold. They're beautiful. He's got this great art twice up, and he's just such a creative kid. And I'm just glad that I own a page from Absolute Wonder Woman. I do own another page from Absolute Wonder Woman, and I'll show that a little bit later. But yeah, first appearance of Etta Candy and her sister, so I was pretty happy. Next page is an Ivan Race. It's from Brightest Day. It's inked by Joe Prado. And I bought this page from Joe and Ivan were boothed right next to each other at a Chicago show. And I saw this page. It's got the Anti-Monitor on it. One of the major villains in the DC universe. I mean, Crisis on Infinite Earth. But so to have an Anti-Monitor page, and that's Boston Brand, Dead Man. He's a White Lantern at this time, and I just love this page. I couldn't put my money out of my wallet when I saw it to buy it. Yeah, just a great page with one of the biggest villains in DC history. Next up is a Spider-Punk page by Justin Mason. I love Spider-Man, of course, and Spider-Punk was big from the animated movies and during the Spider-Verse storyline. He was introduced Hobie, and just to own a page from that story and by Justin Mason, who's a great kid and a very talented artist, and I'm just glad that I own him. Next up is an X Factor page by, oh wow, I just love this page, by Larry Stroman. It's got Mr. Sinister on it, the Nasty Boys from this storyline, and then a bottom panel with Quicksilver running through, and Larry's an extremely talented artist, and to own a page from his main run on X Factor that he left for Image not too long after this, to create his own creator-owned stuff, but just a great page by Larry Stroman, and who is drawing his butt off, and just a great issue, great page, great issue. Peter David wrote some amazing stories during this time. This is an American Vampire page by Raphael Albuquerque. It's actually written by Stephen King. This is Scott Snyder's main work for Vertigo, and Raphael's. It's got Skinner Sweet, the American Vampire, the first American Vampire. Well, technically not, but in this storyline he is. And it's his origin after getting bit by the vampire, or getting turned by the vampire, and them not knowing he's just a troublemaker, and he's carrying a bag of dynamite, so he's not got any good thing planned in mind. So just a cool Raphael Albuquerque page, and very happy to own it. And I really loved American Vampire too. The next page is one of my favorites. I'm just never going to come out of my collection. It's a Tim Sale Hulk Gray page. Sadly, Tim's no longer with us. And I was at a Chicago show again, and this was at Albert Moy's booth. And I was flipping through the portfolios, and as soon as I saw this bottom panel with Rick Jones's eyes, I had to buy it. It's just pitch perfect. The fear that he sees, saying this is the first time in this story that Hulk, Bruce Banner's transforming into the Hulk, and he's right in front of Rick Jones, who just cannot believe what's happening. And Tim put so much, I mean, if Tim just drew this panel right here, this part of the page right here, just his eyes, still would have the same effect on it. It's just so powerful. You can just tell that Rick is just so feared of what's going to be happening. What's happening is this guy that saved his life. And it's the Hulk, the first transformation of the Hulk into the Hulk. It's just cool. I love this page. It's just, and Tim was an amazing talent and an amazing artist. And so happy that I own a page from Holt Gray. This is during a bunch of Jeff Loeb written colored stories for Marvel. There's, Spider-Man Blue, Holt Gray, Iron Man or Daredevil Yellow, and then Captain America White. But yeah, Spider-Man Blue and Holt Gray were my favorites, and the Daredevil Yellow I pretty enjoyed it pretty much too. So just great to own a page by Tim Sale, a true master. Next up is a John Paul Leon Captain America page. This is during Ed Brubaker's run. It's from the sad life of I forget what his name is, but he was the original. He was Nomad, and he had just been shot by Bucky, Winter Soldier at this time, and the sad tale of Jack Monroe. That's who it was. And John Paul Leon's no longer with us either. It's just sad that these amazingly talented artists just aren't with us anymore and can't share with us more art. And just a sad page, and but from a very good run on Captain America by Ed Brubaker. Glad to own it and to have a J.P. Leon page in my collection. So this one's a Defenders page from Erik Larsen. Kurt Busiek was writing it, and I think that they were both co-plotting it together. But it's got all the original Defenders. It's got Doctor Strange, Silver Surfer, Hulk, and Submariner. I love it. And to have, Erik Larsen be the artist on it, it was just a great page to own. Next up is a Fearless Dawn page by Steve Mannion. I love Fearless Dawn. It's a great story. I'm just sad that it's not collected in more. I mean, they collected The Bomb in trade paperback form, but I really would love a collected edition of all of his stories. He kick-started a bunch of issues, and I own every issue of Fearless Dawn that's ever came out. I even bound them all, custom bound them in a hardcover myself, because I just love just reaching on my bookshelf and pulling it off to read. This is from the Shorts issue. It's fully painted, and Steve is an amazing, talented artist. I'm just sad that he's not doing more. I mean, he's just such a great artist. He could be doing a lot of great stories and great teams, and just glad to own a page by him. He's extremely nice, and I follow everything that he does. So to own a page from it, I'm just glad. This is a Jerome Opeña Punisher page. This is Rick Remender was writing this series, and that's the Hood was the main bad guy in it, and he brought back a bunch of villains that were murdered, mostly by the Scourge. So yeah, it's a pencil only page by Jerome Opeña, and it's got a bunch of dead villains. I'm gonna have see if Jerome can sign this when he's at Chicago next month. So just a cool page, and he's such a great artist, and the detail in his pencils. I love getting pencil only pages. A lot of people don't like it, but I do. You get to see the artist's raw art before an inker gets to it. Just a cool page, and by an amazing artist. So Jerome Opeña. Next one is a Wolverine and X-Men, written by Jason Aaron and drawn by Chris Bachalo and inked by Tim Townsend. I loved this page. It's because Logan is talking to Bobby about coming to this school. He's going to reopen the school, And he's like, well, I'm glad that you want me a part of this. And he's like, no, I want something special from you, Bobby. And Bobby's like, well, what do you want from me? He's like, you're one of the strongest mutants in the world. Scott always says that you have so much power. I want you to do something special. That's it. That's all I'm asking, for you to do something special. Be special. That's what you are. You're one of the most powerful mutants in the world right now, in the universe. Show me something special. Everybody knows that you're a good guy, but you have the potential to be one of the best of us. So just do it. Be special. And Bobby's just like, I'll do something special. He's so pissed. I'm going to do something special. And I love this page. And Jason wrote such a powerful moment, and to have it drawn by one of my favorite X-Men artists, by Chris Pacello, it just made me happy. So I'm glad that I own it. And another page that's going to stay in my collection forever. This is another one too. It's Ken Lashley, Lead Killer on online social media. Ken's a great guy and a fantastic artist. And it's got Spider-Man fighting a villain. This is during Tom Taylor's run on Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and it's just a great piece of art. And you know, I'm a huge Spidey fan, so anytime I can get a great page of art by an amazing artist, I'm gonna do it. And I'm glad to have Ken. And like I said, Ken's a great guy, so just an all-around great page to have. And the last one in this portfolio is from the Vision story, by Tom King wrote it, and Gabriel Walta drew it. I owned a couple of pages from this run. I bought them from Gabriel from his art rep, and it's just a great page. The other page I own had some of the Avengers on it, but this storyline, this page is special because it's got what the story was about, which is Vision making his own family and trying to live a normal life in the suburbs, and the tragedy that he could never have it. He couldn't have the happiness of that. I love how the door, they live at 616, which is, you know, the Marvel Universe, comic book universe designation. So Gabriel's ink wash on this is just amazing. It's just a beautiful page. And I'm glad that, like I said, I love original art, and to own something from a story that I loved, from an artist that I really loved, and it's just that's the best thing about this hobby. And getting to meet some of my artistic heroes is just icing on the cake. So yeah,